Hi, this is James Garden, the CineTechGeek at NAB2019. I'm here with George from Ownzones. Now, I wanted to interview George today because one of the big stories this year is that, we've been hearing a lot about cloud for a long time. But Ownzones really is a cloud company, and what they're really doing is cloud technologies for production. And I wanted to bring the story today because I've been a little bit of a skeptic of cloud to a degree for production facilities, the big files we're putting together. But in this situation, this is a real thing that's happening because of the development of IMF, and the cloud is where IMF lives. Isn't that right, George?
Yeah, it's exactly right. It's spot on, because those files, the files are getting so big at this point that it's no longer practical to move them around from facility to facility.
That's right. But the big thing that I really like about seeing your technology today, which is basically I'll describe it because I want to be succinct, is there's lots of streaming services out there and they have lots of requirements, and Ownzones is a solution that brings it all together it's like a fulfilment system that you need to fulfill certain deliverables for all individual streaming services. And Ownzones software drives you through that process and makes it simple and also distributed. That's the cloud part. It can be all over the world. So tell us, how does that work? How does that Ownzones make that work so smoothly?
Well, it's a lot of work. I mean, when you get into this kind of stuff, you hit all sorts of barriers. And as I was talking before, once you get these big files in the cloud, the first thing you're going to hit is that there's no way to preview that. So what we did is to develop a technology that allows you to preview all those files in the cloud, right straight from there. So
for example, seeing your software, you can upload specific versions, like original versions.
Yeah, you put your 500 gigabytes file in the cloud, and then you hit play, and we have a fleet of machines that ramps up and starts transcoding that file.
But to a degree, though, it's sort of like a little editor that allows you to edit the content in a way that's suitable for the different deliverables, isn't it?
Yeah, so that was the next step, right? Because with IMF and this componentization world where you split everything up and you assemble them back with CPLs, then it was pretty easy for us to take our technology, and instead of pointing you to your 500 gigabytes file, we point you to the CPL, and it reads that assembly instructions from there, and on the fly it assembles the version that you want to see and streams it to your browser.
Yeah, so in effect what we're saying here is that if you have to strike another version for another region, you don't have to re-upload a whole new version of the file.
You just bring your subtitle in. You
bring your change in, and you make the edit in the system online in seconds rather than hours to upload it again.
Absolutely.
And that's what cloud brings us.
Yeah, and another thing that we're uncovering here at NAB is there's another technology that we have. So the problem that we were facing is that many of our customers already have huge libraries already built of versions, right? So our frame DNA technology allows us today to compare 5 different versions of the same content, and then we'll turn all those versions into an IMF master plus 5 different IMF supplementals, just reducing your storage footprint to 30% of what you normally had if you stored those versions independently.
So, but finally, one of the things I wanted to go over in this video is that the industry is changing in how we do deliverables.
Yeah.
IMF has triggered that change, and it's companies like yours who are fulfilling the disruption or the innovation that is coming due to those changes. Would you describe it that way?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a world where the cloud enables access to a creative pool that was never accessible before, right? So you can take your laptop, you can go to a Starbucks, you can build a new version from there. You don't need to go to...
Yes, and one of the big things you were saying, so if you're doing a multi-deliverable to many parts of the world, and each part of the world needs to add its own succinct changes, like different credits or different languages, to take out different scenes because they're not compatible with that region.
Yeah.
You can just throw it up into an Ozone type system, get people from each of those regions to apply their legal requirements.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's all in the cloud.
Yeah, you open up the browser, you put your things in, and you assemble a new version just like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to go, you don't have to download the whole file. So I think that this IMF, it's all about, and the collaboration workflow is all about reducing all this friction. That I think this takes about 80% of the time you need to get a title to market.
Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thanks. That's James Gardner at NAB 2019. Bye for now.